So yeah, I know I talk a lot of shit on stage. I don't know what that's about. It's a complex I have because in real life, I need you guys to know as you're leaving tonight, I am a good boy, okay? I'm a good boy. Like, I follow the rules. I don't get in trouble. I've only been in trouble once in my life, honestly. I got suspended in 4th grade on some bullshit. I'm still mad about it. Here's what you need to know is when I was a kid, both my parents were lawyers. They were both trial attorneys. So one of the ways I got positive reinforcement as a kid was when I was at the dinner table and used a new big word in a sentence. And every time I dropped a big new word, my dad would look at me and he'd be like, very big word, congratulations. And I'd be like, thank you, Daddy. I do it for you. Whatever, we all have kinks as kids. That was my kid kink. So I was always on the hunt for big new words, right? And so one day I'm at recess, met the monkey bars with my friend Francis. And Francis drops a word I've never heard before in my life. He uses the word masturbate in a sentence. And I'm like, damn, that's a good word, dude. Like, what's that word? What does masturbate mean? And to this day, I don't know if Francis was messing with me or if he was confused, but he looked me right in the eye and he said, masturbate means cheating. And I was like, got it. You know, I was like, no further questions. Locked and loaded. I cannot wait to use this big new word. And I'm in class a couple weeks later. I'm sitting across from this girl, Brittany. And I hate Brittany. Like to this day, I've never hated a person more than this girl, Brittany. She was awful for a million reasons, just a wretched, wretched creature. But the worst thing about Brittany to me was that she came from a family of hardcore evangelical missionaries. So every summer, she and her family would go to China and convert Chinese people, it sounded like against their will, to evangelical Christianity. And so she'd come back after summer break bragging about all these Chinese people she converted. Fucking gross. But the reason I hated her is because I was the only Jew in class. So every day at lunch, she tried to convert me to evangelical Christianity. And her sales tactic was fucking crazy. She'd throw her lunch tray in front of me. She'd get 2 inches from my face. And she'd go, Joe, I know you're Jewish. You're going to burn in hell. That's how she started. And I'd look right back at her and I'd be like, you know what? I hope I do, you bitch. So we had a real will they, won't they vibe, me and Brittany. So we're in class, right? Sitting across from each other. We're about to take a spelling test. So everyone's got their vocab sheets out. Everyone's memorizing these words for the spelling test. And I look up and I see Brittany and she thinks no one's looking at her. She's got a little pen in her hand and she's writing all the vocab words on the inside of her palm. Unbelievable. You know, like, what would Jesus do? Am I right? And so I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm like, this is unbelievable. She's not going to do what I think she's going to do. Test starts. You know, I crush it. Slam it down. And then for like 5 minutes, I watch Brittany. She thinks she's slick. Looking at her hand, writing all the words down. Unbelievable. And so when I thought the time was right, it was so dramatic. I stood up. But I'm like 3 feet tall. It wasn't good. So then, psycho move. I then stood up on my chair so I could point down at her. And at the top of my lungs, as I pointed, I was like, Teacher, Brittany's masturbating. I saw her masturbating. She's masturbating. And the teacher runs over. Miss Gonzalez, she's pale, right? She has no idea what's going on. She looks at me. She's like, what are you saying? And at no point do I think like, oh, I should use another word. I was like, I know this word. I know what it means. And I was like, look at her. She's masturbating. She masturbated the whole test. Like, look at her hand. Look at her hand. It's all over her hand. This happened. And, there's nothing in the teacher manual for this kind of scenario. So the teacher looks at Brittany. She looks at me. And then she tells me, like, get out of here. Go to the principal's office. And I can't believe my ears. I'm like, wait, I'm in trouble? She's the masturbator. So I get kicked out. I have to go into the principal's office. I'm all upset. The principal looks at me. She's like, Joe, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, you know what? Great question, madam. I've never masturbated once in my life. Principal's like, okay, this is above my pay grade. So she called my dad. Principal called my dad. He was in court. I wish there were cameras in that courtroom. You know what I mean? The bailiff coming over to the judge nodding, slamming her gavel, like, court's in recess, Mr. Mande, your son's a raving pervert. You need to go take care of that immediately. So my dad drove to school. He's in his like one nice suit. Comes into the principal's office. I'm on the principal's couch just crying, weeping. You know, the injustice of the situation. My dad looks at me, he's like, Joseph, what the hell is going on? What happened? And you know that like little kid cry? I was like, Dad, you know, you taught me we never masturbate in our family. My dad's like, I have no idea what that is in reference to. What's that? He's suspended? Yeah, he's suspended. And so my dad grabs me, we leave school, he throws me in the car, he's all confused, pissed off. We're driving home. Takes him a while, maybe 20 minutes or so. My dad sort of susses out what happened. And he looks at me and he's like, Joseph, you're not in trouble. I just need you to tell me what you think this word masturbate means. And I look up at it and I'm like, it means cheating, right? And my dad's like, well, you know, it's sort of a gray area. Depends what you're looking at, how often you're looking at it. No, he didn't say anything. He just started laughing at me, which made me furious. I was like, this is no laughing matter. We get home. My mom is home. My mom asks my dad what happened. My dad explains everything to my mom. My mom starts laughing. My dad starts laughing again. Everyone's laughing. And I'm about to start crying. I'm just like, this isn't funny. I'm suspended, you know? And my mom sees that I'm freaking out. And she goes, Joseph, it's okay. Sit at the dinner table. I'm going to make you a snack so you can calm down. So she made me quickly a sandwich and poured some orange juice. And she gave it to me. And I ate the sandwich. And yeah, so anyway, that's the day I tried mayonnaise for the first time. You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for coming out. God bless you.